is the origination of the races and people who settled here in the world, you know. And as you know, the Western names are all MacDonald, Mackenzie, Monroe, and all the Scottish people, still Irish, and basically they are. Well, that's the same way with our ancient travelers that come from Viking stock, and a lot of them brought with them Eurasian people.
When people encountered each other, they tended to interbreed.
That's right. And you see the Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthal and go where you want to see all that stuff didn't just stop overnight. They might carry 1,000 years into where we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even today, I mean, we're white races, of course, but what are we? I mean, what do you have in your bloodline that I don't have, or vice versa?
Yeah.
But we're still unified, and the Sasquatch is the same way. Yeah. So to say they're all like Lucy or like Patty, you can't say they're all the same.
No, they would have different
I do know
characteristics.
they suffer from consanguinity of genes, which is from ancestral mutations, and I have cast to prove what can happen to them in, like I say, mutations of hands and feet and body. It could be different than you ever think possible.
They might do inbreeding when the populations get low, maybe disease contagions that
Going back to the Great Basin Wilderness, which I'm lucky in my life to be a friend of the real Grizzly Adams, not Haggerty, but and we were friends, and he had seen 19 in his life, told me. Robinson.
Okay.
And he just died a few years ago, but him and I went down to Nevada and places where he showed me where he found evidence of them. And the Paiutes, the Paiutes mostly, that you could go with them down in Nevada, both sides, eastern and western Paiute nations, they still have the same basic stories. They're different in their own area, but they call them the pitch people. One place they call them that. And the pitch people would be putting tar in their hair to push it back like sailors did. And they have a look like hair pushed back, and they call them pitch people, using tar in their hair, like sailors did in the old times.
Really? Okay.
See, the sailors had their square on their back, catch the tar in their hair, tar hair. Huh. And that's where it comes from, American uniform. And so when we had our privateers, the pirates, it turned into that. They turned in from privateer to privateer to pirate, the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Well, that shows you how things are distorted, and they were butchered after the war for being, that was terrible. But anyway, there's so much history here that ties together with these people. Now that Lovelock Cave people, I was told by the Indians, were also called a Sail.
Okay.
A Sail, S-A-I-L, spelled that way, with a hyphen in the middle, which is pronounced like Gaelic. Sail is the Sail. They sailed in here. Well, we know that the Lahontan Sea existed as far as Winnemucca North and not down as far as the Salton Sea in California, touched the bar and came clear down to Bluff Creek.
Yeah.
A huge ocean come in there. And then now it's Walker Lake still there. But you can see the water lines, and we could talk for a week here and never go the same place twice, but when they sailed in there, they sailed in reed boats.
Okay.
And they were also called people with reeds, because they had reed boats, and the water washed up to the Lovelock Cave mouth, right on top of the...
Right there.
Yeah.
So
I've been there many times. The whole mountain range around there.
So they were red-haired giants is what they were.
The giant, in those cases, might have not been bigger than 6 feet tall, or 7 or 8 or 9, but the thing was, the Indians then were known about larger than me. I'm 5'8", maybe the most I am.
Okay.
And so we packed down or get older, but the Indians of yesteryear were no more than 5'5", 5'6", most of them 7. There was bigger ones too. Mm-hmm. And of course, a giant can be a man 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
But
that handprint that you saw seems to be bigger than
it's 24 inches by 18. I have pictures with me here of that hand, but not my hands right now, in my stuff here. But
which would be a true giant. That would have to be something.
Yeah, have to be 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
And even this flag thing you're going to see today had to have something high up to get there to half-mast. I mean, there's so many mysteries here.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes couldn't settle the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, but it's not the obvious, it's reverse. And here's what you want to know. Everything we don't know is what it is. And that is can't be changed. But Popeye says, I am what I am, he can change that.
Yeah.
So if you say I am what I am, you can change that whole philosophy. But it is what it is, but don't change it.
Yeah.
And we is what we are. But we can change that by attitude or whatever you want to say, health or something. But the conclusion of this flag here you're going to see today is a testimony of, it's not impossible because it happened, but it's improbable. It just don't make any kind of sense. And you'll see why. When you see braids in there as big as a toothpick in length and then half that size, and numbers, and done in a rainy night, wow. Anyway, so getting back to what they are, there's a multitude of ideas and theories, and Ron Moorhead writes about the quantum Sasquatch. The word quantum means a variety of possibilities. And that's true. There's so many things here in this museum alone, right here, that bother your mind if you look into it hard enough. I don't pretend to be the last word or authority on everything, but I do know I've got over 60 years of maverick exploration, and I confer with people who are archaeologists and anthropologists who have never been in the field even, who think they know more than I do. And so, I don't know
you've gathered a great deal of evidence, hard evidence,
I've got
which
probably
is
50
important.
pounds of pictures
And
that I haven't seen myself for a long time.
didn't you also find a hand in Idaho?
Also,
Can you
here,
talk
yes,
a little
so
bit about that?
you'll see it in the museum here, pictures of it, but it's right now in the museum in Texas that Joe Taylor's has it. That was 2000, we found it in 2001, 2002. And it went from 2001 and 2 and 3 all around the country and everywhere, the places for identification. Never had a satisfactory answer except it looked like a possible human hand, but it's not quite. It had opposed fingers and thumbs.
Very
There's
interesting.
many archaeologists, not many, there are a few anthropologists, people, so I won't mention names, that insist that these Sasquatch are the Gigantopithecus. They have nothing to do with monkeys. I mean, this is a statement. They have nothing to do with monkeys. They got our cats show fingers, opposed fingers and thumbs. The monkeys have them all down here.
Yeah.
Actually, had over 100 different species of apes. Gone forever, but they all had them down here somewhere. They could not braid, they could not pick up, they couldn't throw a rock straight.
They have to be close enough to us to interbreed with us.
Recent DNA was taken in Tibet from water. It shows they're 99% human in the Yeti,
Yeah. I believe
and that's been documented.
Yeah.
So that's just recent. So if they're 99%, what's the other 1%? Well, it could be them too. But the water can be diminished as some part of the evidence. In the story of Oliver, maybe only the story of Oliver,
Yeah.
I've lost track of that since 2005, but he was a chimpanzee supposedly that had one chromosome less than human and one more than ape. And he was so close to human, he lit cigars, served you a drink, poured you coffee, wore human clothes. And he had an affinity of women. He had a problem with chasing up the girls, so that was more kind of watching.
Just like man, right?
Well, I'm showing you how
Very characteristic.
his whereas one there's two,
Yeah.
whereas two it could be four, like rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
You never know what you're saying until you get that in your foul. But back to answer your question about Lovelock Cave, it's a magic place even today. And you go there and visit, you'll still see the fire burns on the rocks. There's no doubt about it. They can't erase them. And I've been there one time. Ron Moorhead and myself and Joe Taylor were there together. The BLM showed up and wanted to know what he was doing there. We were investigating the cave, of course. And they can't deny the evidence. And if you get into the people who know, they can't deny it. They won't say so, but they can't give you answers to cover up what they say. And the museum won't like this very well in Winnemucca, but you go there and there's a sign like no smoking, no red-headed giants. Don't ask. Well, you're going to ask then for sure.
Yeah.
How stupid is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they are, the red-headed giants may have been as big as, I believe, 9 to 12 feet in some cases.
Yeah.
And I know there's documentation, I can tell you more, that we just discovered 2 weeks ago in the Jarbidge Wilderness in Nevada-Idaho border. Just this it's on right now on the YouTube, Facebook. I don't watch it, but I'm on there. But we got 4 new tracks within a month, or the same day.
And how big were the tracks?
Oh, 14, 15 inches. I didn't measure these, took the pictures of them.
Yeah.
But they were satisfactory. And MK Davis in that picture.
Well,
why I tell you that is that we got some stories there, and I have pictures of giants that have been saved by people in covert collections, and I have other stories too.
well, we'll pause for now, and I appreciate you sharing this information with me. We'll talk again here in a little bit once we get a chance to
I'm
talk
going
to
to
more
say that
people.
not the last word, but there's much more to learn, and I don't know.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with you, and I totally believe that you have a lot to share with all of us here today, so I'm excited
I hope
to
I
hear
can
more.
live long enough to share more.
There you go. Well, thank you, Don.